Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, another brand new day. It is Sunday, 8:40-ish a.m. Oy vey. Late start, but it's weekend. It's a Sunday. And if you can't be good to yourself on a weekend, then when can you be good to yourself? Well, technically anytime you want. Oh, shucks. I specifically got up to change that, too. I was going to make that number 5, and instead I fed my cat instead. I think my cat bamboozled me because that's the second time I fed her this morning. Thumbs up for that. Anyway though, my apologies. I was going to put up a different thing. I didn't. But it's Sunday. Yay! Another brand new day. I am freezing. My space heater here is the radiator type, so is a very nice and very safe space heater. Not like one of those element ones that has the red hot thing with the fan blowing. Those are frightening. This is an awesome electronic type. It heats up the hot oil inside of it, which goes through the radiator fins and heats up the room that way. Very cool. I have it set right now for 75. It says it's 75 in here because I have it set on low mode. What it does is just constantly checking the temp. And if it's 75, then it just shuts off. And only if it drops below 75 does it go, okay, and then spring in. So it says it's 75 in here, and I am freezing. Oh my gosh, I am so cold. I want to put on my coat on top of this, but that's a bit excessive. Whenever you gain weight, the temperature regulator in your brainstem, sets your body's weight and temp to that. Whenever you lose weight, it doesn't reset. And so if you weigh less so that you can't maintain this as your base, then it tells you you're freezing. That's why if you watch Boogie, whatever the hell the numbers is on the end of his name, he's lost a couple 100 pounds. He's always freezing, just so cold, and he's going to be like that the rest of his life. The brainstem back here says, hey, I don't weigh 800 pounds. I'm freezing. You need to gain the weight back. And you've got to fight against that for the rest of your life. So yeah, at my worst, and there's a combo of what happened. I mean, I've been between 240-ish and 280 a large portion of my life once I got out of the Air Force. And even then, the highest my weight was supposed to be was 196. All through my years in the Air Force, I could barely keep my weight under 200. So I've been heavy most of my life. Once I got married is once I started getting up higher to close to 280, 290. And then after I stopped, well, I was going to say after I stopped drinking, but it was after my wife died, for 4 months, starting actually 1 week before she died, I started drinking to kill the feelings so that I wouldn't be destroyed by watching my wife of 12 years die in front of my eyes. 4 months after that, I stopped. It was a big risk, huge risk. As a recovering alcoholic, anytime I drink alcohol, it is a risk that I'm not going to come out of it. And so for 4 months, I took a huge risk because I wouldn't have survived that as it was. But by the time I was done, because my body was starting to fail, I was also retaining water. So the combination of no exercise, alcohol, and water retention, I went up to 325 pounds. It doesn't matter though why your body's that heavy. That in your back of your head resets to your major weight and never goes back down. So my brainstem is constantly telling me, you need to gain weight. You're freezing. You need to get that weight back because you're freezing. And yeah, it says it's 75 in here. I've got a shirt and a shirt and a shirt, and I'm so cold. Oh well. And I want to lose more weight too. I mean, even under my 20-pound skin suit, you know, because my skin is stretched out. When you get stretch marks, that's the collagen and the elastin in your skin breaking down. It can't, normally your skin, you know, it's got fibers that hold things together, you know, and it gets stretched, but it can still pull back together. And things stretch, but they pull back, but then you stretch, and then they break. And those never pull back together anymore. So you get thick. Normally your skin is like this thick, you know, this thick on when you've got a nice layer of stuff going on. When you've got broke down areas like on my belly, oops, sorry about that, my hamster, and no hamsters today, they're all sleeping right now, I'm very sorry. But I've got handfuls of skin this thick on my abdomen, and that's never going to get better. It's that way forever now. There's no collagen, there's no elasticity to it. It's just bleh. And so half my body looks like I'm a melted figure made out of wax left out in the sun. Because I've got a 20-pound skin suit, whereas a normal person's skin might be 5-8 pounds. Mine's a good 20 because of all of those thick wads of skin. So I've got like 20 extra pounds of weight that will never go away unless I have surgery. And what are the odds of that? Number one, I don't really want to have surgery. The only real surgery I've ever had was when I had my tonsils out as a kid. And I can remember being like 6 years old, vomiting blood, calling up my mother on the telephone from the hospital and crying and begging her to come and take me home. So it was sad, but that's the only time, aside from like fingernails taken off, little things like that, that I've actually had surgery. And I have fractured bones, but I've never broken anything for real. I've fractured a rib when I fell on beer bottles, so that was fun. And I've fractured some toes back when I was in the Air Force. And these are all self-diagnoses, having been on, you know, having been in the military, in healthcare, and remembering things that happened and being in healthcare when it happened, so I could go, oh, with this feeling and this happening and this is what it was. Because when I broke my toes in the Air Force, we had metal doors on our lockers. I had my metal door open on my locker, and I was drunk, and I fell backwards, and I kicked my foot up as I fell. Well, guess where that foot ended up kicking? Bottom of the metal door. Those toes were, you couldn't touch them for months, and they hurt for years. So I did some major damage to the bones of my toes there. But it was fine, I survived. And with the fractured rib, even if you break a rib, you know, unless it's a snap like that or something, it's just, they can't do much. They used to tape you up, but that's not good. You can't breathe, and it's bad all around. So there's not a lot you can do. But based on that, it took well over a year to heal up. So I've done stuff like that, but never broken anything for real, thank goodness. I might have, if I hadn't been lucky and as healthy as I was even then, but after my wife died and before the Wells Fargo bank took my house back, I was so exhausted from only sleeping 1 hour a night that I was walking through the kitchen portion of the house, and I fell asleep in mid-walk. Now, walking is a controlled fall, and it really is. It's not a simple glide. If you don't put out your one foot to catch you, you're going down. Trip on something. Do something where your one foot can't get there. Walking is a controlled fall. And I fell asleep in mid-step and woke up halfway down. And I slammed into the ground. And when you go down There's a reason that breaking a hip is very, very common, especially as you get older, because that is one of the, it's pretty much your center of gravity, where your hip joints are, going into your pelvis. You land on that hip joint. And unfortunately, for us, it's a bone, and then another bit of bone that comes out here in the knob. And then that attaches. And that bone that comes out from here just goes snap on so many people. I came down hard right on that joint. And that was 3 years ago? 4 by this time, I think. Had my bones been in less of good shape, that would have been a snapper. So it's easy, and you got to be super duper careful, especially the older you get. Hokey smokes, the last thing you want to do is break a hip. Breaking any bone is bad, but they have to do surgery to repair the broken hip, because they've got to get rid of the bone, take a replacement knob, and then drive it into the bone of your leg, and then that's your new hip joint. So it's a lot of frickin' work. You don't want to break your hip. So many people, as you get older, like my age and up, breaking a hip can be a death sentence. So please be careful. Now, what was I going on about that, aside from falling down and hurting myself? Oh yeah, the silly be careful and breaking toes stuff. I'm just really rambly, super rambly today. My sincere apologies. I mean, I slept pretty well last night. I actually have been taking melatonin. Melanin is your skin. Melatonin is your sleep hormone. I have been taking melatonin tablets periodically to try and sleep. Some nights that I haven't done it, I've had horrible insomnia, but I don't want to get up, because just getting up forces enough awake stuff going on in your head that it compounds insomnia if you're going through that. So yay, or at least it has in my case. Everybody's different. That's my biochemistry though. So, but last night I took a melatonin tablet, and then I took a activated THC concentrate tablet of just plain THC, indica, and a 10 milligram tablet of CBDs, so that an hour and a half after I fell asleep, I was flooded with pain control. That really helps, because when I do that, when I can do that, generally I sleep good 5-6 hours. And that's really, really nice. Definitely a thumbs up. Oh, lately I've been having some weird stuff though going on with not being able to stay in bed in the morning, because I'm having weird anxiety. That's not anxiety. I'm not having anxiety in my head, but physically I'm feeling the results as if I am having anxiety. It's like I'm having an anxiety attack, except the person that would be having it isn't, and is watching everybody else running around like chickens with their heads cut off and going, guys, what? There's no fire. I'm the one that yells fire. What? Why am I reacting to anxiety? I'm not having anxiety. And so it's a weird feeling. It's like there's 10 things you need to do to have an anxiety attack to affect your brain. And everything but this is happening. So I can't lay in bed because my body's going, ah! And yet I'm checking the circuit boards and going, that there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. I'm not having anxiety. What? So I get up out of bed. But lately, especially when I take the melatonin tablets, or as I make that connection, those nights when I take the THC and such like that, I don't have those horrible anxiety feelings the next day. I also talked to my therapist about my use of cannabis stuff, because I will go without food to make sure I have cannabis. And I said, it's not a cannabis thing. I can't feel any of the cannabis stuff. It's pain control. I can walk. I can go places. I can do things. I want to be able to move. And he's like, it's a quality of life thing. you're willing to sacrifice so that you can have quality of life. And it's like, yeah, that's what it is. Thank you. Somebody was able to put the words onto it, because it's like, yeah, I feel pain relief, a mild feeling of goodwill, and that's all I get out of cannabis. But I am willing to go without food just for the pain control. I don't want to be wheelchair bound or bed bound. Now, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read those all later. Thumbs up the ones I can, answer as many as I can. But for right now, I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. A good comment, a bad comment, and a different comment. The fact is, you left me a comment. Thank you very much. And if I mispronounce the username, no disrespect isn't intended. As the American English speaker, we're just not good at that sort of thing. I try. And even though I count in American Sign Language, as I say, with everything going on in my head, I'm going to forget. And especially going from 20 to 25, I generally forget a number in there, and I don't know why. So, I've opened those up. Let me get to my Chrome. And Chandon, thank you very, very much. And Mayhem, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated for the tip. Thank you. NBK Rex, greatly appreciated. Ice Demon, thumbs up and thank you. Jose Arguello, thank you very, very much. And Sebastian Ferris, greatly appreciated. Michelle A, thank you very much. And Pret Zolta the Great, Pete Zolta the Great. There's no R in there. My apologies. Kathy Kitscat, greatly appreciated. Monofolk, GD, not JD. The one and only Lord Farquaad, not Farquaad. I cannot pronounce names today. My sincere apologies. Nick Applewhite, greatly appreciated. Chuckster, 255, thumbs up and thank you. Brian Glenn, thumbs up. And Carter Olson, greatly appreciated. Cluster 052 En El Nombre del Gameplay, thumbs up and thank you. Robin, oh man, I can't do anything right today. Thank you very, very much. Jamie's Division, greatly appreciated. Melissa Buchanan, thumbs up and thank you. And Hadi Abbas, thumbs up and thank you. The Man Games, greatly appreciated. Shilpa Bernard, thumbs up and thank you. And Craig Army, I'm pretty sure I've messed it up now because I think I'm... Conspo Lopez, thumbs up and thank you. And the Vegan Uprise, greatly appreciated. Each and every one of you. You get me out of my head, confused about my numbering, and it is a very good thing. You need to get out of your head, especially if you're depressed. You've got to get other people's words and thoughts. And did I talk about how going walking at night in Shelton is interesting? I haven't walked past this one guy lately, but when I've been walking to Walmart and back, when I come back from Walmart and he's coming up through the construction area, he's not a younger guy. He's a normal person, but as he's walking, he makes droid noises and then starts screaming like a Wookiee. So we have people that need help in Shelton. And of course, America has no social safety net. So these are people that if they need enough help are just going to die on the street. Anyway, though, I've opened up 24 hours. If you could check out my various links down below. I am so tired this morning. My sincere apologies. You could check out those various links. That would be awesome. If you could donate to my various Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, NearlySeniorCitizen.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron, that would be greatly appreciated. I got hit for $300. My disability is like a good $100 less than my rent. So they've been hitting me hard. I had donations. That's helped me this month. Oh boy. So if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very cool. Greatly appreciated. I would understand if you didn't want to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now to the literal end of time. I'm not going to have a reaction video today. Maybe. I might, actually. And I'm going to hopefully have a game video, so... we'll see what happens. It is a Sunday. I do want to be good to myself, but I also need to make videos. Partially for me and partially because I don't want to be homeless and I need money. So I need to make videos and hopefully people will watch them. Gotta get that bread. Anyway, though, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that, my friend, is a very good thing. Do your very best, and I will too.